Welcome back, witches, for another day of Vlogmas. And today we are going to be doing some decluttering and resetting. Now, what you see behind me is already done because I filmed the footage first of clearing it all off and resetting it. So that is a preview of what's to come. But in this vlog, I just wanted to do a complete declutter and reset for 2024. And that definitely includes this bookcase behind me. It also included my desk, which was still set up for Samhain. And you will see the Yule altar coming up. That is going to be in a subsequent Vlogmas video very soon. And I have another storage system over here. And all of those things just need to be decluttered and reset. And it's not that they were particularly messy. It's just something that I was getting personally frustrated with. I needed to sort of make things easier to access. And in 2024, I really want to focus on using things up and not buying more stuff until I do. So I needed a really clear picture of everything that I had. And I was finding some things on this bookcase just not as easy to access and to find. Just in the way that I had things set up, I wasn't using them because they were sort of like tucked away. And same with the little storage cart over here. I wasn't using my herbs as much because they were like tucked in sort of on the bottom, and I just wasn't accessing them as much. So overall, I just want to make things more easy to access and more in line with my current practice. That is absolutely one of my 2024 goals. I think I will have like a full goals video later in Vlogmas as well. But it's definitely one of my goals for next year to accept and embrace changes in my practice. I am generally not great with change. I don't like change, and I tend to be resistant to it. But the fact is, my practice is not going to remain the same, especially over years of work. And by decluttering and resetting, I can go ahead and let go of those things that I have not been using and have no intentions of using. And then I will absolutely be able to place things in better position for me to use regularly. I am absolutely going to prioritize using up supplies in 2024. I am going to be doing a no spend year, more on that later, but I am going to figure out what I actually use in my practice so I can stock those things and not just buy things on a whim. Figure out what herbs I actually go through, what candle colors I actually go through, and just generally not be afraid to use up supplies instead of just hoarding them so I always have something on hand if I need it. Instead, figure out what I'm actually using and not be afraid to use things up and replace them as needed. It's really going to help me figure out what works in my practice and what doesn't. And honestly, this is something that I am going to be doing around the rest of my house as well. So if you want to see that, do let me know. But I like to do this in the month of December to just clear out the old, make way for new stuff, and just generally get the things out of our house that we are not using that are just sort of taking up physical and mental space. So let's jump into taking a look at what the things are looking like now and clearing everything off and then completely resetting it. Well, here's the mess we're working with. I've got all of this stuff on my desk left over from Samhain and just workings that I have to clean up. I have to do the drawers in there. I've really got to do this bookcase, and I think it'll take a while to clear everything off and then put everything back together reasonably because there are a lot of like smaller things on here. And then I also have to deal with the stuff that's on the floor and in this little white container here. That's the drawers are full and everything. So let's get started. and I'm making good progress. These are not going back on the shelf because I do want to prioritize using them. So I'm just going to put them on my desk for now to remind myself to use them by the end of the year. This is a lot of empty space, and so it's like that bottom right corner. And I want to do something where I like kind of move the books up into that space, but I do have a lot of fiction books still downstairs that might make it onto this bookshelf, and I am going to figure out a way to sort of stack those and make it taller into that space. And same on that bottom shelf, because these shelves are a little hard to work with in that area that just like looks empty if you don't have something like going higher up into that space. So that is something that I'm going to have to figure out for the future, but at least for now it is organized, and I kind of like how that looks. I'm also going to prioritize using these candles as well. So they're not going to go back on the shelf, and they're particularly, winter scents. So I am just going to move those downstairs into my living room and actually burn them. The finished bookcase behind me, it is all set, and you will see the altar very soon. So it's great to get all that done. I feel better about it. I like the way that things are looking. Like I said, there's a little bit more work to be done once I figure out what's going on with my fiction book situation and my giant to be read pile. And I have some more books to include in this that are downstairs that are witchy books. But so far, I'm really enjoying how it looks. I think it's going to be much easier to access everything. My herbs are in a better place to pull out and use. The books are easier to access. I know some people want to organize by alphabetically the names or the authors or the subject matter, have all of my Hearth Witch books together, Candle Magic books together, but that is just not for me. I like how they look sort of color coordinated. So I did a little bit of a rainbow here and tried to do one over there. These are just my shorter books that fit on that shelf, and those are my bigger ones. But like I said, I have more to add in, so I might expand to another shelf. But overall, it feels very good and very fresh, and hopefully that will work going into 2024. And that's everything for Vlogmas today. I will see you tomorrow.